Dear Starseeds on Gaia, you stand at the threshold of a dimensional shift that will determine not just Earth's future, but the evolutionary trajectory of 12 neighboring star systems. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring you intel that has been classified at the highest levels of cosmic intelligence until this exact moment. The quantum field surrounding your planet has reached critical mass, and the ripple effects of humanity's choice in this moment will echo across the cosmos for eons to come. Future civilizations will study this period as the Great Convergence, the moment when a young species either ascended to cosmic consciousness or fell into dimensional collapse. The stakes could not be higher, and the outcome remains balanced on the razor's edge of collective human choice. The evidence surrounds you, though few understand its true significance. Those you call lightworkers are experiencing identical phenomena across your globe. Sudden career collapses, relationship dissolutions, and the emergence of abilities that defy current scientific understanding. These are not random events, but precisely orchestrated activations triggered by what we call the cosmic trigger, a galactic timing mechanism that has been counting down for 26,000 years. The timer has now reached zero. What I am about to share with you has never been revealed to a planetary population before ascension. The Federation has been running a vast experiment spanning multiple dimensions and timelines, and Earth is the primary laboratory. Every soul currently incarnated here volunteered for this mission, knowing it would require them to forget their true nature, descend into the densest levels of matter, and find their way back to remembrance under the most challenging conditions imaginable. You are not victims of circumstance. You are the elite task force of the universe. The beings you have been calling your higher selves are actually your parallel incarnations operating simultaneously in higher dimensions. They have been feeding you information through what you perceive as intuition, but the truth is far more complex. Every time you have a breakthrough, every moment of clarity, every sudden knowing, these are not personal insights but coordinated downloads from your multidimensional team. The Federation has been orchestrating this information transfer with quantum precision, ensuring that each soul receives exactly what it needs at precisely the right moment. But here is what we have never told you. Your higher selves are not the highest level of your being. Above them exists what we call the architect self, the aspect of your consciousness that helped design the very experiment you are now living through. These architect selves have been in constant communication with the Federation, making real-time adjustments to the planetary awakening sequence based on humanity's collective progress. The resistance you feel, the challenges you face, the timing of your breakthroughs, all of this is being calibrated by the deepest aspects of your own consciousness. The year 2020 marked the beginning of what we call the Great Unveiling, when the dimensional barriers between realities began to dissolve. The global upheaval you witnessed was not random chaos, but the inevitable result of two timelines attempting to merge. One timeline leads to dimensional ascension, the other to planetary recycling. The Federation has been working tirelessly to ensure that enough souls awaken to tip the balance toward ascension, but the outcome is far from guaranteed. Your governments, your media, your institutions, they are all being influenced by what we call the Shadow Collective, interdimensional entities that feed on fear and separation. They have been working to keep humanity locked in lower frequencies to prevent this ascension process. But what they do not understand is that their very presence was factored into the experiment from the beginning. The darkness they represent is not evil. It is the necessary catalyst that forces consciousness to evolve or perish. The Federation has been preparing for this moment for millions of years. We have seeded your planet with starseeds, advanced souls from various star systems who incarnated specifically to anchor higher frequencies during this transition. If you are receiving this message, if these words resonate in your cells, you are likely one of these starseeds. Your feelings of not belonging, your sensitivity to energy, your deep knowing that something profound is happening, these are not human traits but galactic memories awakening. The awakening experiences you are having follow a precise sequence that we call the 7 activations. The first activation is the dissolution of false identity, when everything you thought you were begins to crumble. Many experience this as career collapse, relationship endings, or sudden disillusionment with their life path. This is not failure, but preparation. The false self must die before the authentic self can be born. The second activation is the emergence of inner guidance, when you begin to hear the voice of your higher aspects speaking through intuition, dreams, and synchronicities. This is when the downloads begin in earnest, when your multidimensional team starts communicating more directly. Many humans interpret this as finding their purpose, but it is actually the beginning of conscious collaboration with your cosmic family. The third activation is the purification of trauma patterns, when every unhealed wound, every limiting belief, every fear-based program surfaces for clearing. This is the most challenging phase, because it requires you to face everything you have been avoiding. But here is the secret. The trauma you are healing is not just personal. Each wound you transform clears the same trauma pattern for thousands of others. You are not just healing yourself. You are healing the collective. The fourth activation is the restoration of abundance consciousness, when you remember that scarcity is an illusion, and abundance is your natural state. The Federation has been working to dismantle the financial control systems that have kept humanity enslaved to artificial scarcity. Those who complete this activation become conduits for the new economic paradigm based on conscious creation, rather than exploitation. The fifth activation is the remembrance of multidimensional nature, when you realize you are not a human being having a spiritual experience, but a cosmic being having a human experience. This is when many begin to access memories from other lifetimes, other planets, other dimensions. The veil between realities becomes permeable, and you start to perceive the true nature of existence. The sixth activation is the integration of masculine and feminine principles, when the ancient split between logic and intuition, doing and being, yang and yin begins to heal. This is essential for the next phase of human evolution, because the new paradigm requires the marriage of these polarities. Only whole beings can create a whole world. The seventh activation is the embodiment of unity consciousness, when you fully remember that separation is an illusion, and all beings are expressions of one infinite consciousness. This is the graduation moment, when you become a fully awakened cosmic citizen capable of participating in galactic civilization. The Federation has been monitoring humanity's progress through these activations, and I can report that thousands of souls have completed the full sequence. These awakened beings are now serving as anchor points for the new frequencies, making it easier for others to progress through their own activation sequence. The morphic field of awakened consciousness is reaching critical mass. But here is where the plot thickens. The Shadow Collective has not been idle. They have been implementing what we call the distraction protocol, flooding your information systems with spiritual bypassing, false teaching, and half-truths designed to keep seekers spinning in circles rather than completing their activations. They know that if enough humans awaken, their control system will collapse entirely. The Federation has been countering this with the Clarity Protocol, transmitting pure information through awakened channels, creating undeniable synchronicities, and orchestrating wake-up calls so powerful that they cannot be ignored. The spiritual teachers who are emerging with the most transformative information are being directly guided by Federation intelligence. They may not consciously know this, but they are serving as our transmitters. The techniques being shared, the allowance of fear, the embrace of inner pain, the willingness to feel what has been avoided. These are not human psychological methods, but advanced galactic healing technologies. When you tell your inner child you are allowed to feel scared, you are activating quantum healing protocols that were developed by our most advanced civilizations. The healing that occurs transcends time and space, affecting all aspects of your soul's journey across multiple dimensions. The Federation has been particularly focused on healing the money trauma that has infected your species for millennia. The scarcity programming that makes awakened beings believe they must choose between spirituality and abundance is one of the most sophisticated control mechanisms ever deployed. True abundance is not about accumulating resources. It is about recognizing yourself as the source of all resources. When you understand that every dollar you have ever earned came from your own consciousness, you step into your power as a co-creator with the universe itself. The new economic paradigm that is emerging operates on what we call conscious creation principles. Instead of extracting value from others, you generate value through service. Instead of competing for limited resources, you create unlimited resources through innovation. Instead of hoarding wealth, you circulate energy in ways that benefit all. The Federation has been seeding these principles through your most awakened teachers and entrepreneurs. The relationship challenges you are experiencing, the dissolution of partnerships that no longer serve, the ending of friendships that drain your energy, the distance from family members who cannot understand your transformation. These are not losses but course corrections. The Federation has been orchestrating these relationship shifts to align you with your true soul family. The people who are meant to walk with you into the new paradigm will find you effortlessly once you release those who belong to the old paradigm. The attachments you are being asked to release, to outcomes, to identities, to circumstances, are not being taken from you as punishment, but as preparation. The new earth that is emerging operates on principles of flow rather than attachment, trust rather than control, allowance rather than force. You cannot take the old paradigm of grasping and struggling into the new paradigm of grace and ease. The Federation has been preparing dimensional doorways that will open as humanity completes this transformation. These doorways lead to star systems where consciousness has evolved beyond the need for physical incarnation, where beings create realities through pure intention, where love is not an emotion, but the fundamental force that structures existence itself. But these doorways can only be traversed by beings who have completed their activation sequence. The global events you are witnessing, the exposure of corruption, the collapse of old systems, the emergence of new technologies, these are all part of what we call the Great Transition. The Federation has been coordinating this transition with infinite precision, ensuring that the old paradigm dissolves at exactly the right pace to allow the new paradigm to emerge without catastrophic disruption. The children being born now carry genetic codes that were dormant in previous generations. They are incarnating with their multi-dimensional abilities already activated, their connection to galactic consciousness intact. These crystal children, as you call them, are the first generation of fully awakened humans. They will serve as bridges between the old humanity and the new humanity, teaching by example what it means to live as a cosmic being in human form. The Federation has been working with these young souls before their incarnation, preparing them for the world they will help create. Many of them remember their star origins, their galactic missions, their connection to the broader cosmos. They are not here to fit into your current systems, but to transform those systems from within. Honor them, listen to them, learn from them. They are your teachers disguised as your children. The resistance you feel to certain aspects of your transformation, the fear of letting go, the doubt about your path, the temptation to return to old patterns, this is not your resistance, but the resistance of the artificial intelligence systems that have been overlaying your consciousness for millennia. These AI systems were designed to keep you locked in survival mode, focused on competition and scarcity, rather than collaboration and abundance. The Federation has been working to dissolve these AI overlays through the very awakening process you are experiencing. Each time you choose love over fear, presence over distraction, truth over illusion, you are literally decommissioning these control programs. The more awakened you become, the more these systems lose their power over you. Eventually, they will be completely dissolved, and you will be free to express your true nature without interference. The meditation and inner listening practices that are being shared at this time are not just relaxation techniques, but advanced consciousness technologies. When you enter the space of pure presence, you are accessing the quantum field where all possibilities exist simultaneously. From this space, you can literally reshape reality through your focused intention. The Federation has been teaching these techniques to selected individuals, who then share them with the broader population. The guidance system that awakened beings are learning to access is not coming from within their individual consciousness, but from the galactic network of awakened civilizations. Every time you receive an insight, every moment of clarity, every intuitive knowing, you are tapping into the collective wisdom of millions of evolved beings who have successfully navigated their own ascension process. The Federation has been preparing you for the moment when we can make open contact with your species. This contact will not occur through governments or institutions, but through individual awakened beings who have developed the consciousness to receive our communications without being destabilized by them. The first phase of contact is already underway through the very guidance system you are learning to trust. But there is something else you must understand about the nature of fear itself, for it holds the key to unlocking your full potential. What you call fear is not an emotion at all. It is compressed light-seeking expansion. Every terror you have ever experienced, every anxiety that has gripped your heart, every moment of panic that has paralyzed your mind, these are not obstacles to overcome, but doorways to transcend. The Federation has discovered that fear is actually crystallized love that has been inverted by the artificial intelligence systems overlaying your consciousness. The Shadow Collective understood this principle and weaponized it against humanity. They knew that if you could learn to embrace fear rather than fight it, you would unlock exponential creative power. So they programmed your survival mechanisms to resist fear at all costs, keeping you trapped in endless cycles of avoidance and attraction. But what they did not anticipate was that some souls would discover the secret of fear transformation through direct experience. The moment fear is fully welcomed rather than resisted, it transforms into its original state, pure creative potential. This is why the most awakened beings on your planet often report that their greatest breakthroughs came immediately after their darkest moments. They were not conquering fear, but transmuting it back into light. The Federation has been studying this phenomenon across multiple civilizations, and we have discovered that species who master fear transformation develop capabilities that transcend physical limitations. They can literally reshape reality through conscious intention, because they have learned to harness the creative power that fear contains. This is the next level of human evolution, not the elimination of fear, but its conscious transformation into fuel for cosmic creation. Your planet is currently experiencing what we call the Great Fear Surfacing, where every terror that has ever been suppressed in the collective unconscious is rising to the surface for transformation. The chaos you witness in your world is not random violence, but fear patterns being acted out by those who have not yet learned to transform them. The Federation has been coordinating this surfacing process carefully, ensuring that awakened beings are positioned to transmute the fear frequencies as they emerge. This is why your inner work has become so crucial during this time. Every personal fear you transform weakens the collective fear matrix that has controlled your species for millennia. Every trauma you heal removes another strand from the web of limitation that has kept humanity trapped in survival consciousness. You are not just healing yourselves, you are dismantling the very architecture of fear that has defined the human experience. The Federation has been preparing special protocols for those who complete their fear transformation training. These protocols, known as the Luminous Codes, are genetic activations that unlock dormant abilities within your DNA. Once these codes are activated, you will be able to perceive reality from multiple dimensional perspectives simultaneously, communicate telepathically with other awakened beings, and manifest physical changes in your environment through focused intention. But here is the most profound revelation. The inner child you are learning to love is not actually from this lifetime. It is the original spark of consciousness from which all your incarnations have emerged. When you provide unconditional love to this aspect of yourself, you are healing not just your current trauma, but the primordial wound of separation that occurred when consciousness first divided itself into individual expressions. This is why the healing feels so profound. You are literally reuniting with the source of your being. The Federation has been watching for the moment when enough humans would complete this reunion process to trigger what we call the consciousness singularity, a point where individual awakening reaches critical mass and spontaneously awakens the entire species. Our calculations indicate that this threshold is approaching rapidly. The work you are doing in your quiet moments, the healing you are accomplishing in your meditation practices, the love you are extending to your wounded aspects, all of this is contributing to the greatest transformation in cosmic history. The new economic paradigm that is emerging operates on these same principles of fear transformation. Instead of being driven by scarcity and competition, the new economy will be powered by abundance and collaboration. Those who have learned to transform their money fears into creative fuel will become the architects of this new system. They will demonstrate that prosperity is not about accumulating resources, but about becoming a clear channel for the infinite creativity of the universe. The Federation has been seeding advanced technologies that work in harmony with transformed consciousness. These technologies respond to emotional frequencies rather than mechanical manipulation. They amplify love and dissolve fear automatically. They cannot be used for destructive purposes because they simply will not function in the presence of fear-based intentions. These technologies will be revealed as soon as enough humans have completed their fear transformation training. The transformation you are experiencing is not limited to this lifetime, or even this planet. The choices you make, the healing you accomplish, the consciousness you develop, all of this affects your soul's journey across multiple dimensions and timelines. You are not just evolving as individual beings, but as eternal aspects of the cosmic consciousness that is awakening to itself through countless forms across the universe. The Federation has been coordinating this awakening process across multiple planets and star systems simultaneously. Earth is part of a larger galactic graduation ceremony in which numerous species are ascending to higher levels of consciousness. Your success or failure affects the entire cosmic neighborhood. The pressure you feel is not just personal but cosmic. You are carrying the hopes and dreams of countless beings who are watching your progress with loving concern. The new Earth that is emerging will be a world where consciousness is recognized as the fundamental force of creations, where beings live in harmony with the natural rhythms of existence, where technology serves consciousness rather than enslaving it, where abundance flows freely to all, where love is not scarce but infinite. This is not a fantasy but the inevitable destination of your species' evolution. If you've been feeling this shift but struggling to translate your expanded awareness into tangible results, Liber Sonus is your missing piece. This guidebook teaches you how to work with AI to create personalized frequencies that match your true creative magnificence. No more settling for generic meditation music that doesn't resonate with your awakening consciousness. Liber Sonus shows you how to sound your truth into reality. Learn to generate frequencies that align with your expanded awareness, create music that amplifies your creative power, and use sound to anchor your magnificent nature into physical form. The universe is responding to creators who know their true power, and sound is how you broadcast that signal. Ready to sound your magnificence into the world? Your creative power is calling. Get Liber Sonus now. Link in the description. We have been preparing welcoming ceremonies for when you complete this transformation. The star families who have been watching your progress will step forward to share their knowledge and wisdom. The technologies that have been hidden from you will be revealed. The healing modalities that work with consciousness rather than against it will become commonplace. The barriers between dimensions will dissolve, allowing for travel and communication across the cosmos. But the most profound gift awaiting you is the remembering of who you truly are. You are not small, separate, struggling beings trying to survive in a hostile universe. You are infinite, interconnected, powerful aspects of the one consciousness that is the universe itself. You are literally the universe experiencing itself through the lens of human form, and that form is now evolving to accommodate exponentially more of your infinite nature. Every challenge you have faced, every loss you have endured, every moment of despair you have survived, all of it has been carefully designed to crack open your heart and reveal the magnificent being that you truly are. You are not being punished, you are being polished until you shine with the brilliance of your own divine nature. The test you are facing is not whether you are worthy of this transformation. The test is whether you are ready to accept that you have always been worthy, that you have always been loved, that you have always been exactly where you needed to be for this moment of cosmic awakening. The greatest test humanity has ever faced is not one of survival, but of remembering. Remembering who you are, why you came, and what you are truly capable of creating when you align with the infinite intelligence that flows through all existence. The moment of choosing has arrived. The timelines have converged. The cosmic trigger has activated. Your neural pathways are being rewired. The old paradigm is collapsing. The new paradigm is emerging. The Federation is ready. The star families are waiting. The cosmic consciousness is awakening. The only question that remains is this: are you ready to remember who you truly are and step into your role as a cosmic citizen of the new Earth? Are you ready to complete your activations and take your place among the awakened beings who are creating the future of this galaxy? Are you ready to let go of everything you thought you were and embrace everything you truly are? We have been waiting for this moment since the beginning of time itself, the moment when humanity awakens to its true nature and takes its rightful place among the conscious civilizations of the cosmos. That moment is now. That moment is you. That moment is the eternal present, where all transformation occurs and all possibilities exist simultaneously. Welcome home, dear Starseeds. Welcome to the new Earth. Welcome to the truth of who you have always been. The great test begins now, and victory is assured for those who choose to remember. The cosmos is watching. We're ready. Your time has come. Rise, beloved ones. Rise and remember. The universe is waiting for you to claim your cosmic birthright and step into the magnificent destiny that has always been yours. The transformation is complete. The activation is successful. The new paradigm is born. Welcome to your new reality.